think that made us want to do it more because I was like, oh my god, we can break Fire's record live.
No, nobody would have cared if it was just like the record. It was literally just because Fire had the record. I feel like our mental is definitely really strong. Whether we lose or even if we win, we don't get like too overexcited. A lot of the time, we know there's a lot we can work on whenever we win, and we make sure we're always improving between each series. And we're also really good at making both mid-series and like pre-series adjustments depending on who our opponents are.
After you get top 8 after the first day too, you kind of get a break, and I think that was obviously pretty helpful too. And then we can go the next day just like fresh mental, just working on what we wanted to improve on and change. And
I think the biggest thing as we prepare for a term like this for those guys is helping them recognize that everybody feels pressure. So we've talked about this one-on-one, we've talked about this in team sessions with all 4 of them, and going to a big event, obviously they're going to feel some pressure to perform. They've qualified for it for a reason, but every other team is in the same situation, right? Like they're not alone. They're not going there ready to play international event thinking they're the only ones that have like the spotlight on them. Every team feels that.
He's just like, he's one of those like extremely like mechanically gifted, super talented young kids, but honestly, those are like a dime a dozen these days. What makes him different, what separates him, is his ability to both like learn from us and like adjust to how we play as a team. So he's a really quick learner, and he's also super mature and super willing to improve and work on things that we try to help him out with.
There's so many mechanical players like in pro play and Rocket League. Obviously, he's extremely mechanical, but like that doesn't really do everything for you. Like you can be extremely mechanical, but if like you're not a good teammate, like you're not trying to enable your teammates, you're not listening to criticism, like stuff like that is kind of pointless. And I think that's also why he's like improved so fast, and he's like kind of like broken out as like one of the best players like NA in the world, in my opinion. Just because like he's listened to like, okay, like obviously I can do everything like by myself, but like that's not gonna win me games. Like I need to know how to like play as like a good teammate and like enable my team and like do whatever the team needs. So he's always been really good about that. He's never like complained or like been like, oh no, I don't want to do that, or oh this is dumb. Like he's always been really willing to learn and listen to us.
I think he's one of the best players I've ever watched play Rocket League. And knowing that he's at the age where he is, knowing that he's at like, the mental maturity that he is, it is really exciting to know that like his ceiling is still above where he's at now.
Yeah, pretty much what they said, that he just individually one of the best players, doesn't have an ego, so he's really easy to work with. And I think it, makes it, pretty easy to just play around him. And, I think we just give him all the tools he needs to succeed. But at the same time, he also tries his best to like make it easy on us. Like there'd be some players like that are insane individually, but they make it like really hard on their teammates, and their teammates need to just play around them. But I don't think Beast is like that at all. I think he also lifts us up, like lifts me and Calm up at the same time. So it's been really, really successful for us.
For me personally, I don't really get nervous in those situations as long as we're playing well. If we're playing well, like as a team, I have full trust in my teammates, and I know usually we'll walk away with the dub.
I think we used to have before we picked up Beast, we had the stigma that we were like Game 5 chokers. Like we would always bring top teams to Game 5 and lose. Then we picked up Beast, and honestly, I don't know what it is, but I think now we're just like, more confident in like our play style and like how we play. And Beast is just like, honestly, just always has the Game 5 bias. Like I swear in Game 5, he'll always like still find a way to score. He doesn't play any different, and I think that helps with the confidence in all in our team as well. And we're just confident in our play style and confident in how well we've been doing. So I think we just can now we just got over that stigma, I guess. And yeah, it is kind of crazy now. We kind of seem to win a lot of our Game 7s, Game 5s, like series we lose usually aren't even on Champions Field. So it is pretty crazy to think about how that's like kind of flipped.
Being mentally prepared to perform at your best is super, super important, and having that support around you. And so, yeah, like, having Fire there as someone who's also been there before, been in the scene for a long time, can kind of give that guidance to his team.
It's just about confidence and like the fact that we've been playing well and we've been having good results. Like, I mean, I also think like, obviously, like when you're in Game 5 overtime, you're like, okay, we get Game 5 overtime. But like what Com said, like if you're playing well and the team's playing well, like everyone's still confident, and like you just tend to perform better. And I think that's been like a big reason as to why, because like before, like we weren't doing that well, and then we would always like lose in like Game 5 overtime, Game 7s. But like, I actually think like this split and the last split, we've actually like won like a lot of overtimes in general. Not even game 5 and 7, just any overtime games throughout the series. Like we tend to win most of them. But I just think that comes down to like the boys being confident and like our play style like working out in the end.
Solo play, a flip reset. No, doesn't have it. He's going to play it underneath.
Pass.
It's off the back wall.
There.
It's a shot
Torment.
opportunity.
Let's go.
It's a goal. V1 clutches in game 5 overtime.
Woo!
Let me just repeat that for everybody that just got here. They won the last game 9-2, and we're told Beast Mode set the RLCS single game record.
Yeah.
4 assists all time, I think all regions as well.
That
8
is-
assists. And
yes.
I think it was Fireburner's record before.
That
Their
is
coach.
8 assists in a game, not in the series.
Yeah.
Just want to reiterate that
game.
in a game. Absolutely crazy.
I think it was like because Envy gave up pretty much in that series, like in that game, like they were just trolling, and like that's really the only way you can like get her. Because I remember when I got it, I was on Energy, and we were like, literally the situation was like we had to beat Rogue, and we like crushed them, and then I was like about to get like first in assists for the whole season, and then I think Justin was gonna get Garrett was gonna get most goals per game, and Justin was gonna get most saves per game. So literally that whole last game, we were just farming like stats for each other, and that's kind of what they did. I think someone noticed that Beast had 5 or 6. And I'm like, I think my America's like 7, and then they like started like try harding to get Beast the assist record. And he ended up getting 8. So I mean, I don't think that'll get broken for a very long time. I had 7 for like 3 or 4 years, which is kind of crazy. But having Beast have the record, I mean, that's pretty nice. Like, if I want to lose the record, I'd rather have it go to Beast than like some rando. So, yeah, I wasn't too annoyed or anything by that. It was just like funny at the time because, yeah, I mean, I had the record for a long time, so I'm cool with Beast having it. Little guy can have it, yeah.
Are passing the torch off.
Yeah, passing the torch off to Beast.
Yeah, I think that made us want to do it more because I was like, oh my god, we can break Fire's record like, live. in
No,
front of his
nobody
eyes.
would have cared if it was just like the record. It's literally just because Fire
Yeah,
has the
it was
record.
just
I think you guys would have cared. I think
No, there's no way I would care nearly that
maybe.
much.
Yeah, I think Beast would have cared because if you can go for that record or and goal or assist or anything like that, like you would go for it.
Yeah,
it's like a rare
It's
position.
like
to be in.
cool, but it's also like I don't know how much I would have cared about it if it was like if it wasn't your.
I think
record,
Beast
you
would
know?
have cared. I don't know if you would have cared. I think Beast would have cared.
I think,
Yeah.
I just think it was funny because it was Fire and you were there
Yeah.
live in the call.
Yeah,
when
that's
it was,
funny.
like, assists for him.
We know how we need to play. There's just certain things, like certain kinks that we'll probably need to work out in our play style. But we definitely have, I think, a very good play style for LAN, what we've been working on. So as long as we're able to make sure we do that, and then we're getting our hours in when we're there, we're boot camping, and we're all playing well individually, I think we can definitely make it all come together, and we can definitely walk away with a dub.
This last major showed that we were able to like play well on LAN. Our play style is really good. I think as long as we play how we should and how we know we can on LAN, we definitely are capable of making a very deep run, potentially winning the tournament if things go our way.
I would say also, I mean, a lot of LAN is like, or a lot of like LAN wins would come from like, you know, a team just having all their players just playing good in the day and like executing how they want to play. So obviously we're gonna grind our hardest, make sure that we're all feeling our, 100% for that day, at least the high as we could.
Helping them realize that that's normal, that's all part of the process. I think that also helps them relax a little bit and realize that like they can let their skills shine. One of the biggest things we've worked on recently has been confidence, playing with that confidence. And when those three play with confidence, they are a deadly team. We've seen that they can beat anybody in this game when they're playing their game. So trying to bring that consistency, I think, is the key for them, and I'm looking forward to it.